let's talk about a problem with natural language processing field, which you can say AI specializing in languages. I'm an NLP, natural language processing researcher, natural language processing engineer, and I've been in the field for quite a long time. I want to share some of my thoughts on that, on this field. I saw there's some bottlenecks in terms of application. So if you want to do this kind of similar job in the future, you may find this very interesting. By the way, if you would like to receive more AI videos, don't forget to subscribe. So let's just dive in the topic. So natural language processing, what's that? Let's just define this real simple, real quick. NLP is a discipline that uses machine learning algorithms to process human languages. For example, you can use a deep learning model to analyze human sentiments. So it's been more popular recently, but really the problem is it attracts so much attention, like GPT-3, these sort of things, but you really don't see there's real application, too many real applications, or the real world problems they can be solved purely by NLP techniques. There's just not that many. So that's a problem, right? Because the field is like raising a lot of hype, but it's very under delivering. If you just look at a company that is built on top of NLP, there aren't really many. Two of the most famous NLP purely NLP companies is I think the only purely NLP company is Hugging Face. Hugging Face is open source, managing the open source project, famous for its Transformers PyTorch version, and it's really a company that's focused on NLP, but it's more like providing machine learning framework library. And another company perhaps is also very famous is GPT-3. It's not just it's a company not only focused on NLP, but it has gained a lot of traction from its NLP discipline, NLP department, and they already released GPT-3, which you can use as API. Apart from these two, I really don't see too many NLP companies, startups. In contrary, you can see so many computer vision startups, like self-driving cars. There's a lot of parts about computer vision, and some image processing things or virtual background, a lot of things. It's just probably like 10 times more than NLP. Oh no, 10 times like underestimated. It's probably 100 times more than NLP startups, or 50 times. It's extreme difference. That's extreme difference. And I'm a startup person, so I always think of what kind of problems can be solved by NLP. But every time I think about that, actually I think about it every day, but I really cannot think too many. It's really a technique. I was thinking which problems that you can be solved by NLPs. Just not many. So it's really the problems. The first problem, there's not real applications. Not enough applications they NLP techniques can do. And second thing is there's a very big stagnation in NLP. If you've been paying attention to NLP field academics papers, you will see in the last, I would say, 4 years, all the papers about like using BER to do something, and there aren't really too many different like groundbreaking studies. Yes, there are much larger language models, GPT-3, but it's basically a transformer. It's very similar to BER architecture. It's just much larger. Okay, and so the stagnation is really serious. And if you ask an academic person what NLP can do, they'll probably answer you question answering, sentiment analysis, empathy recognitions. But the problem is those techniques can definitely they have some real use cases, but it's really, really limited. Most of those things are the problems that people look into in academia. But if you really go into the real world, the application for those like sentiment analysis and entity recognition is just limited. I just don't think too many valuable problems can be solved by those techniques. Alright, so stagnation and the lack of application, I think, is a serious problem that NLP is facing. If we really couldn't figure out what other problems can be solved by NLP, the progress of this field will be really limited. In fact, NLP really has very big attention. Probably we should rephrase this like natural language understanding instead of processing. Okay, so if we enlarge our scope to natural language understanding, there is actually a much larger goal, which is to use natural language as a thoughts communication tool from machine to machine, from humans to machine. So they should be a layer they let intelligent individuals to communicate with each other, but we are still very far away from that. Most of our techniques is just to use, now it's just only mature enough to process some surface semantic meanings, lexical meanings. We don't really know how to leverage those technology that we have now in the true communication level. For example, just give you one example. How do you communicate with a computer that you want to, when you want to write something? How can you easily just tell the computer, I want to write this. This is, you want to build a website. I want to build this website. I want this form to be like this. I want this table to be here. There's no way for you to communicate with a computer like this. But if there's a programmer there, you can just talk to the programmer, talk to them very easily. Just verbally describe something, and they probably will build something that you want. Maybe it's not 100%, but it's close enough. We just couldn't do that. The same level of understanding of human languages for computer, for AI. So that's the future work for NLP. We don't know how far it is. It could be very, very difficult. It could be not as difficult, but one thing I'm sure is we probably won't achieve the level of intelligence in terms of NLP, NLU in the next 5 years. Alright, so that's my thoughts, my rant about NLP. I rant it because I like it, I love it, I love the field. And what do you think? What do you think of NLP application? And if you would like to engage in this field in the future, what do you think? What kind of questions you want to ask me? I would definitely try to make another videos to answer that. And for sure want to know what you think about this topic. Leave it in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. Your subscription is really the best encouragement for me to make more videos like this. Other than that, I'll see you next time.